God is good. Now, this is a very important day, particularly for our students. Very rarely you find leaders and people who value education and even take it a step further to plan and sit down with the students together with their parents on how best we can ensure that no student drops out of school. And on this, I must and the good as CBO, led by Chair Dennis. We had a quick meeting earlier in the day, and we shared, you were able to elaborate the mission and vision for this CBO, and the priority is to ensure that we educate this community. And therefore, with more than 120 students, I'm sure that the support we will give, together with everybody who has been invited here, will make it possible that when we begin school in 2026, which is a few weeks from today, all these students here will be able to comfortably go back to school, and those who will be sitting for exams will sit their exams, and those who will be able to continue with their education will do so, and we will get another opportunity when we come back again at a time like this next year to celebrate these students, to celebrate their teachers, to celebrate the good CBO, and all the leaders who have made it possible. Now, by us doing this, we are supplementing what His Excellency the President is doing with education. And the Honorable Atande will tell you that the biggest budget in the current financial year, and even in the years to come, has been dedicated to education, with almost 30% of the entire budget having been dedicated to matters education. And this speaks to how valuable or how important education is to His Excellency President William Ruto. That as we close the year, the President would have hired a record 100,000 teachers, something that is unprecedented. That in under 3 years, we have done 23,000 classrooms and more than 15,000 laboratories across the country. And we are continuing to do this. So education is the biggest equalizer. Education is what will make these children here take the microphone like I'm doing today. It is what will make it possible for the children of Nyatike to invite dignitaries, to invite members of parliament, to invite senior government officials to come and see what is possible in Nyatike. This is a very harsh terrain that without education, a lot of lives would be lost. There will be a lot of hopelessness. And therefore, I'm encouraged that today we are pursuing a noble cause, and all these students who are here will become pilots, will become engineers, some will become doctors, others will become educationists. And I want to directly speak to the students that you are very lucky that you are in Nyatike, and because of the challenges that you go through as part of your schooling, there are seniors, those who have gone before you, who've seen it fit to come together and collect resources, raise funds, so that you can not drop out of school. And as you do this, you might not be in the best schools that this country has. You're probably going to a day school. You're probably struggling going to maybe a third-tier high school. But take comfort that as your parents, as those who are in government, We value you, we appreciate you, we love you, and we wish you the very best. And while in school, the most important thing you really need to focus on is to be disciplined. And if you are disciplined, you will go places. You will score those A's that some of us were talking about here. And even if you don't score an A, you will still get grades that will take you to the next level, that would allow you to be responsible citizens of this country. And to the parents, there is no bigger gift than the children that God has given you. And you have a responsibility to preach and inspire hope in them and to get the best out of them and to encourage them. Even the weak ones in school, as parents, we have a responsibility to urge them on. Even if they are performing dismally, please tell them, my son, my daughter, I know you can make it. Ni nyaka wabed jonyuol magwedho nyithindo. Donge? Ni ka nyathini e sikul to walamone kendo wamedo jiwe mondo med tiyo matek mondo chieng' moro okel lokruok ne en owuon to gi anyuola ma oae. Ni kawuono ji machalo kaka Dennis gini nyalo luongowa ka nikech ne gidhi sikul, nikech anyuola ma giae mar jokadem ni nong'eyo nengo mar somo. So ka in janyuol, kata ka bed ni ionge gi nyathi madhi sikul, to ka in gi nyathi nyieki moro, nyathi yuori moro madhi sikul, to samoro wuon gi kata nyieke kata nyiekino kata yuori ok nyal chulo ne school fees, to ka Nyasaye ogwedhi to gole matin mondo nyathino timre nade, odog sikul. Nikech nyathino ok en nyathi nyieki, ok en nyathi yuori, en nyathini in bende iwuon. Nikech kawuono Dennis okelo waka, samoro min gi nosewe nyuol, oonge gi nyathi owadgi moro ma kamoro idwa notere sikul. But otimo ma nikech the value of education and the power of education in transforming our communities and transforming our country. We have had His Excellency the President visit this constituency. He has not been here once only. He has been here twice. And God willing, he will be here at that time on Wednesday. And as a people of Nyatike and as a people of Migori, there has never been a president who has visited this village. The first president is President William Ruto. And there are many things we know, things that we see that he has done for the people of Nyatike. On matters education, there are classrooms he has built in Nyatike. There is a bus he himself handed over the last time he was here for this school that is next to us. And God willing, when he's back on Wednesday, he will be handing over another bus. We have talked about the Kuja irrigation scheme. And it's a scheme that has been stuck for many, many years. He was here to oversee the expansion of the Kuja irrigation scheme. And I'm sure when he comes back on Wednesday, he will speak to the many, many other interventions that he's putting so that we can address the challenge of food security in this country, but also improve the livelihoods of the people of Nyatike as well as the people of Migori. And what he's doing in Nyatike and Migori, he's also doing it across the country. That for the first time, we have a president who is treating every part of this country equally. If it is irrigation, it is being done in Nyatike, it is being done in Kisumu, it is being done in Siaya, it is being done in Busia, it is being done in Mwea, it is being done in Tana River, it's being done in Kilifi, all over. If it is teachers, they are being hired in each and every school across the country. If it is roads, we know the roads that were stuck here for many, many years. Contractors are back on site. They're not just back on site in Nyatike. They're back on site in every corner of this country. And that is why I am privileged and proud to be one of his officers. And when I come here, I can confidently say that for the last 3 years, the president has delivered for Kenyans. He has delivered for Nyanza region. He has delivered for Migori County. He has delivered for Nyatike constituency. And he has delivered for the people of Kadem. Omiyo, kwa wacho ni wadhi support president in 2027, kako ganda. Okena nambaka ni nikech ni samoro omiyo ji machalo kaka Omollo gi ni tich. Ni beyond miyo jo machalo kaka Omollo gi ni tich, osetiyo ne jo Kenya, kendo osetiyo ne jo dalawa, kendo osetiyo ne jo thurwa, kendo pod odhi medo tiyo ne jo thurwa. So kinyiso ng'ato ni idhi gone Ruto kura kata iwacho wach tutam, to in gi gimomiyo iwacho kamano. Ok wawacha wacha nikech koro mbaka mit kata ji walo ni koro wadwa ni wamor jomoko. To magi te Mheshimiwa Nyamita wacho ka osetimo ma ng'ama ochune godo onge. Kura michiwa miye bende otimore nade? Bende onge. Koro sani diong' bed nade ni kendo wachak wabukore ni wadwa chako keto masharti. So as the people of Nyatike, as the people of Migori, and as the people from this region, we are going to support the re-election of the president unconditionally, without any conditions, because he has more than delivered for us, and he will continue to deliver. The third thing is that we also had an opportunity to speak to the youth. And one of the biggest challenges we've had on insecurity, and as a PS responsible for internal security, is the issue of gangs, the issue of goons, the issue of our youth being misused by our leaders to score political points. And as a people, I want to plead with all of us. Let's be very tolerant. If there is a leader that you don't agree with or you don't like what they are saying, please keep away from their meeting. There is no point you going to a meeting that is called by a person you don't like, so that we don't end up losing lives, we don't end up destroying property purely on account of differing political opinions. And we have created several administrative units. In Migori here, there are several administrative units that were gazetted that are yet to be operationalized so that we can get services closer to the people. Last week, when His Excellency met all the chiefs and assistant chiefs from across the country, and when he launched our Jukwaa la Usalama report, he gave us directives that within the next 6 months, all administrative units that were gazetted and yet to be operationalized, be operationalized. And he has asked the team at Treasury, together with Parliament, to make resources available for us to do this. And therefore, Mheshimiwa Odege, the issue of the ACC here, and the other locations and divisions that are yet to be operationalized, we are going to do so over the next 6 months so that our people can get the services they deserve easily and we make them accessible. And as part of government services, after this, there is an ongoing ID registration, voter registration exercise, and other many government programs that we are bringing down to the people through Huduma Mashinani. And Migori is among the border counties. And for a very long time, it was very difficult for those who come from border counties to access identification documents. His Excellency the President, knowing very well how useful and important these documents are, waived the extra vetting requirements so that if there are ladies from across the border who are married here, let's make it possible for them to acquire identification documents. And that is part of what we are rolling out over the last 1 month, and we will continue into next year so that everyone who is above 18 must have an ID so that they can access government services, but it also gives them a voice to determine how they conduct their affairs. So these are things that were unheard of. The other day, I saw a lady who is 75 years old, never had an identity card. Honorable Atandi will tell you here, there is affordable housing and market being done in his constituency. Now the contractors are supposed to give work to locals. In one family, you have 3, 4 sons and their wives relying on their father's identification card so that they can get an opportunity to work in the sites. Now, these are some of the things that are important to the president, that we must make every Kenyan feel part of this country. It is not acceptable that in this day and age, we have people who are past 70 years old without identification documents. And we will do this all through for the remainder of the president's term into 2032, and it will set a very strong foundation for any other leader, whether at the national level or at the local level, that Kenyans will be able to judge you by what you are able to do for them. The economic justice. And he's doing it without any coercion. So let's not allow any of our leaders, any of our politicians to coerce or to give conditions to the president, because he's already doing what he promised and what he knows is the best, or is in the best interest of all of us as a country. As I finish, I know we still have another program, which is on sports. Schools are closed. We are in the festive season. I want all of us to celebrate this season responsibly. We don't want to lose lives, those who are on the roads. We don't want to get involved or have our children involved into criminal activities that will make it difficult for them to go to school when schools open next year. And for those who have done their exams, I like what the leaders here have said. And I would want to challenge all the parents. Let's get time to engage these students, help them identify the right courses,